Hello, everyone. I'm Plasma Warriors, and you like to call me that guy with the afro. And before I even begin this video, I've got to talk about a statement. I hate to say this. Somebody decided to make. You've already seen my talk about Tumblr, and believe me, that will be on this list. But then comes yet another what the fuck are you saying moment. Now, I've already talked about scarfing scarves before, and I've got to say, their latest video that came out today, what the fucking hell is wrong with you? I mean, seriously, I get racism exists. I'm not denying that. I get the person in question was an idiotic douche canoe who was a snowflake, and that's not the point. The point is, then, it gets worse from there. Because, I hate to say this, all lives matter is not racist. It's not even close. Yes, all lives matter. My life matters. The Arab guy down the street lives matter. Asian lives matter. Everyone's life matters. And that's a racist thing to you? No. And then you go on and say, well, you should worry because you wear a Magna hat. So who cares? I'm a conservative. I voted for Trump. Big fucking deal. What else is new? But the one that kills me, and they were going to be on the smartest people on the list in 2018, and they might not be on that list now because they went and criticized somebody's First Amendment right to say what they wanted to. Now, I grant you what they said was stupid, but you don't have the right way to say anything against that. They can say whatever they want. It's their video, even though you don't agree with it, which I'm sure a lot of people won't agree with this video. No. They still have the right to say it. And I will fucking come down hard on anyone, YouTube celebrity, politician, the guy next to the street, who will ever say people shouldn't have the First Amendment right to say what they want to, whether you agree with it or not. So yes, good job, Tyler Willis. You went off my board. Now I gotta find somebody else smart enough. Looks like that Nick Foles guy is probably gonna be up a few points. But no, seriously, to the point. My top 10 dumbest people of 2018 literally consists of people who completely screwed themselves over 5,000 times to the degree of anguish. Make sure you understand, they might be smart, but they're not exactly bright. And once again, I'm not saying these guys aren't successful. That's not the point. There will be a person who I think is completely ignorant, but has been able to play that to a success in the next video. So keep out for that. But let's get to the point. The top 10 dumbest people of the year. Number 10, Stormy Daniels, a former porn star. Now, let's start off by the fact that you should never, ever break a non-disclosure agreement. Do you know what that means? Don't tell everybody what you may have done. Could have Trump done something about this in some kind of affair? I don't know. Let me go back to the Brett Kavanaugh thing. I have no idea. But you are paid to not say anything. So let's start now. You not only broke your agreement with Donald Trump and blabbed about having an affair, which I don't know happened or not, you also went on to sue him over said affair. Already, this is stupid, but what makes it worse is now the case was dismissed a few weeks ago. And even worse, now Stormy Daniels has to pay Donald Trump the legal fees. I mean, on paper, it sounded like a great thing. She represented the resist movement. Not really in name, but in spirit. And then all of a sudden, bang, down she goes. Down goes Stormy. But you know what really scares me about her? She will blab about having an affair with anyone. No, you don't want to do that. You know the next person's going to look at you like a, let's face it, slut. Yeah. That's what Stormy Daniels ended up being. Porn star is one thing, but dumbass whore, that's another. Number 9, J.R. Smith, NBA player. Oh, here we go. The NBA Finals on the road. You're tied with a few seconds to go, and you get a big offensive rebound on a missed free throw with the ability to take the last shot of the game. Your star player, the biggest name in basketball right now, LeBron James, is even asking you, hand me the ball. Please give me the ball. And you dribble it out and lose in overtime. Great. J.R. Smith literally not only screwed over his team, but at this point, at game one, I thought LeBron was going to be able to stay in Cleveland. But in the end, he ruined it for King James and ended up ruining it for everyone else. If they don't make this mistake, I don't believe the Cavaliers would have won the series. Okay, I'm just going to say it outright. But at least LeBron has a thought about it. Now he's in LA, and congratulations, Cleveland. You're back down to complete misery. Way to go, J.R. Smith. Number 8, the Festa, a video game producing company. Let me be honest, I'm not a real big fan of Fallout. From the last one, it looked so dated. It just looked grungy and boring. The fan mods, however, kept it going. Okay, that's fair enough. Now, Fallout 76 was supposed to be this MMO thing, It's just supposed to be a bunch of people getting together. But then I wondered why anyone liked the series to begin with. Okay, the bugs are there. There's tons of bugs. Like, everyone knows that. The gameplay is just repetitively boring. It's shoot, kill, repeat, shoot, kill, repeat. That works in small bunches. I mean, it works for Call of Duty and Overwatch. Okay. Doesn't work for a long-term thing. You have to be a little bit more social than that. And unfortunately, gamers are not first-person shooter social types. This also goes to State of Decay too. I tried that out, and it looked like it was really, really hard to get anything out of it. I mean, it just didn't feel like there was a community, and that's why I have a problem. And then the graphics. I got to talk about this. Why is it so brown or dark? I mean, one of my biggest knocks on the Final Fantasy IX was that there was so much gray in there. I thought it was all just cement. I thought the whole game was encased in cement. And I like to call this the Final Fantasy IX effect because it's the same color over and over and over again. In fact, one of the best games of all time, Unreal Tournament, the original one, also suffers from this from a large case of gray. It's just, I don't know if there's going to be a good first-person RPG shooter game out there. I'm sure it can be done. I mean, there's going to be something out there that makes sense of it, but I don't think Bethesda really was going to do the job in this case. So, sorry to say. Number 7, the Oakland Raiders, the professional NFL team. I don't like to get harp on professional sports, but this was a travesty all over again. There was a line in the movie Basketball that said, the Raiders moved from Oakland to LA back to Oakland, but no one seemed to notice. Okay, now they're going off to Las Vegas. Okay, I can understand this because the stadium they have is complete trash. Okay, the stadium sucks. Gotcha there. But that's not the only reason why they made this list. Most of that is they have the most diehard fans in all of sports. Let me be honest with you. George Manley, a voice actor, diehard Raiders fan. Every time I speak with him, it's his Raiders and my Titans. That's the kind of fandom that I have. I don't know what happened to George Manley. He was with ADV years ago, but I got to catch up with him. But the stadium alone being run down, couldn't you make some kind of deal? I mean, this is kind of like what happened to Houston Oilers before they moved to Tennessee. You should have compromised with the city, or the city should have done something. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The Oilers wanted a new stadium. Okay, fair enough. And then they left because the city wouldn't give it to them. And then all of a sudden, the Houston Texans get a brand new stadium. Bad enough the Raiders have to suffer a similar fate and have to move to another town, but they're playing basically to avoid the number one pick in the NFL draft. The worst team in the league. Again, if we're just moving from a situation, I can understand that. But see, moving from a situation that could be fixed. Sorry, it really can be. Number 6, Beto O'Rourke, a Democratic politician. And again, what a difference a few 100,000 votes would have made. If he would have won this, he would easily be in the top 10 smartest people of the year. Easily. But no, he got to one of my dumbest people of the year. Okay, Beto O'Rourke is charismatic. He tried to run for the Senate seat in the state of Texas. Now, Texas is not quite as conservative as it was before. It's still conservative. But that alone doesn't make Beto O'Rourke get on this list. The real reason why he's on this list is he lost to Ted Cruz. Do I even need to explain this to you? The biggest problem is you lost to Ted freaking Cruz, who I admit is okay, but not great. He kind of backstabbed everybody with the Republican National Convention in 2016. Now, not only were you hoping to pick off that Senate seat, you were hoping that Beto was able to make a presidential run in 2020. But not only did he lose the Senate race, it's a double whammy because he now has lost the second place person from 2016 to Donald Trump. Now, say what you will about Trump generally, but he is a brilliant tactician. We just look at the time he posted a live feed talking to Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi the other day. He knows how to make people squirm. The Democrats would have to have somebody to overtake Ted Cruz and couldn't. Now has to try to overtake Donald Trump? That's near impossible. Would he have won? He might have had a chance to become president in 2020, but he didn't. Damn. Number 5, Momo-kun, cosplayer. Now, again, I defend and attack a lot of different points. Just look at what I just said to Scarfing Scarves. Generally, I did defend her right to cosplay as Balzac. That is true. However, let me make sure we understand it doesn't take away the things that she did. Doesn't take away that she sexually assaulted somebody on camera. And let me go back to the whole Stormy Daniels things. Adult nature doesn't make being in an adult field like lewd cosplaying is not an excuse to do stupid things in public like this. It's not an excuse to be basically I can't really say slut in her case, but absent-minded bitch. Let me make sure we understand this. I hope you're listening, Tyler, because this is why I'm not exactly thrilled at what you said either. I've actually crossplayed before, an Alice in Wonderland dress. And I don't mind saying it. I wouldn't mind being in a Lolita dress again, honestly. But this is what bothers the hell out of me, is that when I did go to this, people were flipping up my skirt. All the girls wanted to look under my skirt. They just flipped it up. And if it were a guy, they'd be kicked out of the con, or at least verbally warned almost immediately. No, it can't work either way. You cannot harass somebody or touch them in a way that they shouldn't be in that. Now, Momo-kun's defense is that she has a mental disability. So do I. So fucking what? I hate to tell you this. The world outside isn't going to care. Let alone if you're going to touch somebody's private area without permission. It's the sickest thing is that she tried to defend herself by saying, oh, I have a mental disability or ADD or whatever. No. If I did that to a woman, I should be arrested. I agree with that, but I haven't done that. She does not deserve what she got, but she still, unfortunately, has the rights to do some things. Sickening, yes. But that also puts her on this list because she allows herself to do a lot of bad things and get away with it. Oh, there will be another person who does that on this list. Believe me. Number 4, Michael Avenatti. Attorney, lawyer, whatever. Saddest thing about all the Trump killers, this being one of them. He was going to be the superstar that could attack Trump. Instead, he becomes the laughingstock about everyone in the United States. Forget the creepy porn lawyer tag. If you really want to look at it, he wants to go to become the Neville Trumper brand to run for president in 2020. He lost twice to take down Donald Trump or what Donald Trump was going to do in the same year. First time was Stormy Daniels. We've already covered that. The second time is during the Brett Kavanaugh hearings. We brought out a totally made-up person whom no one heard about. I don't even know who this person is. Nobody knows who she is. Who said they were raped by now Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Nobody knows who she is, and it found out she was telling a lie. Whoever it was, I don't even know if this person was real. Now, in a cruel twist of fate, remember when everybody said we have to believe women about how they've been assaulted? Well, now he's been charged with domestic abuse on another woman. Now, allow me to make it very clear. I'm not here to judge him. He deserves due process as much as anyone else. But the irony is he just put himself in a firebed that he ironically started. A shame. Number 3, Tumblr, blogging site. Ironic that I refreshed my memory from Scarf and Scarves a moment ago because the year doesn't end realistically for another few weeks, and this is something that happened recently. This is one of the few times that actually you go and look, dang, that happened so recently that it made this list. Yeah, if it's as stupid as what they're going to do. Apparently, Apple has some kind of rule that you can't have adult content on an app in the iTunes store. I don't know the deal, but it doesn't make sense why Tumblr is singled out, where Twitter also allows for adult content on their blog. Oops. So eventually, Tumblr decided, we'll fix it the stupidest way we know how. And that is to just say ban all adult content. Okay. There are 2 problems with this. Not only do I go back to the First Amendment's freedom of speech factor, is that a lot of people are indeed trying to be mature creators, and they are going to different kinds of places, such as Discord or Twitter, to just go and produce more adult content. But that's not even the worst of this. I mean, Tumblr isn't known just for porn. It's also known for a GBLTQ crowd. Place where they can belong, where blogging it for them actually makes sense. Now, what if somebody were to say these people in an alternative lifestyle are now lumped together with people who like hentai? You can consider them both adult in nature. I don't know how Tumblr did this, but they ended up screwing over potentially 2 fan bases in one shot. The adults and the GBLTQ. I mean, Dashcard already heard enough. Yeah, Tumblr's just ruined whatever reputation they had. Number 2, John Lay. I'm going to, again, say this straight up. I know this is going to sound mean, but it's not about, for me, the cosplay of the Lolita scandal. I mean, yes, it happened. Yes, that's bad. But no, that's not the reason why this guy actually makes this list. Yes, he made sexually suggestive comments to female cosplayers. That's not the reason. Anyone can do that and still not be on the dumbest people of the year. Let's be fair. However, his convention outright sucks, okay? I'm just going to say it right now. The con was terrible. I've been there twice. The first year and then 2011. I can tell you stories about how bad that year was. And it's never been recovering. Oh, but now, even though the con's bad and John Lay decided to be a predatory bastard, it's worse than that. Somebody, we don't know who it was. We don't know if it was part of the convention or not, decided to wear a Nazi cosplay outfit and hijack some people's panels. They've hurt one of very good reputation of somebody in Houston, a fan group in Houston, very good, very prominent. I like these guys a lot. I'm not going to name them out loud. But generally, they went and allowed somebody to destroy their name. So let me make sure we understand what I just said here. A person running a major anime convention who's a sex offender decided to destroy their entire organization because it's just not working, and then allowed somebody, we don't know who it was, wearing a Nazi outfit, who the symbol of a group of people who killed 6 million Jewish names, allowing them to ruin a reputation of a fan group. I mean, I can go back to what Planet Zero did and how bad that was. I should. He's been disastrous since then. I haven't liked him or his arcade. And it closed down because he wouldn't pay the rent. Now, probably already thinking, how did this guy not get to be number one? Okay, you're right. Any other year, John Lay is the dumbest person in the entire history of Earth. However, that alone wasn't enough. Believe it or not, he still has some kind of progress. All the 9 people above number 1 has something still working for them. The person at number 1 does not have said luxury. The number 1 dumbest person of 2018 is Logan Paul, a YouTuber. I can just boil this down. You already pretty much know what he did, but I'm going to describe it. Now, self-censoring political people like Mark Dice and Alex Jones is something that YouTube and the other parts of the universe are trying to do. I'm sorry, they are. I'm not going to get political, but I'm going to stress that it's not YouTube specific in this case. It's one person making a terrible decision. On the 1st of January, he posted a YouTube video going to Japan, trying to make a fool out of himself and just basically try to disrupt the culture over there. Now, Logan Paul did this at a time where the Tokyo Olympics in 2020 are trying to raise up a reputation of being more inclusive. Because you might not understand this, but the Japanese culture generally does not like foreign people living in the country. That is changing a little. There are some people who are trying to fix that. I mean, Gaijin Goomba being one of them. But no, that alone does not make him number 1. It's bad. Gonna get worse. So, what did Logan Paul, decide to do? He went to the Japanese Suicide Force. I can't pronounce it. Okay, look, I'm not Japanese, but you know what I mean. And this is where I have to stop myself for one moment. Logan Paul, and his stupidest moment ever, and probably the dumbest moment I've ever noticed, was walking around there, and he decided to show a dead body on his video. A literal corpse. I'm not talking about somebody thinking about walking around and just maybe he's thinking about it, and Logan Paul tries to say, no, it's going to be okay. He literally showed a human being decaying. YouTube was rightfully outraged. This removed his planned movie, which didn't seem like it was going to look good either. It was about you have to take a test, otherwise they would kill you if you weren't smart enough. That didn't look smart. His advertisers aborted him. The support rightfully got rid of his sorry ass. I'm sorry. Logan Paul is the dumbest person of 2018. And not only that, he's the first person who actually could have made claim to this. That's the worst part of it. From this January 1st up to now, he literally was the dumbest person of the year. And it might be by a little bit. Maybe John Lay was a little bit stupid, less stupid. But it doesn't change the fact that, in all seriousness, I know I've said a lot of things in this video that you're not going to like. But I'm going to stop with the whole act. It's not really an act for me. I really consider myself Plasma Warrior, but I'm coming to you as J.R. Karsten, a real person with a real set of feelings in this case. And those of you who actually stayed through this video, thank you for listening. And I know it's been a very heavy video, but this last part, I'm coming straight from my heart. No script, no words, no nothing. Suicide is a very serious thing. It's a very dark place to be in. And it's a very, very saddening, no hope situation. You know, a friend of mine considered suicide earlier this year. And I'm glad that he didn't go through with it. It does look like things are starting to look up for him. But I was in that spot when I was 11. Okay? I was in a place that dark that I didn't feel like there was a way out myself. I don't feel that way now, obviously. But during that time, I felt like there was no meaning to life. Nothing to it. And with that being said, I was this close. I don't know what stopped me. Maybe I was afraid people would know I was gone. Maybe I didn't know how to make it not so painful. But suicide is not a joke. And people who consider it really do need help. And I'm not talking get them on pills, make them drugged up to the point where they can't function help. I mean actual understanding of the situation they're in. And no matter how dark it is, no matter how bad things go, there's always going to be another day for most of us. I mean, we don't choose the time we die normally. And I believe now there's something God has put me on this earth to do. I'm not going to get religious heavily. I've already gone through that on another video. And that until that moment happens, I'm not going to be taken off this earth. I don't know when that day will be. I don't know if I'm going to do that tomorrow. I don't know if God says you've done your work, now come up here. But I do understand that there is a purpose for us all. And God puts us on this earth for that purpose. I mean, you may believe whatever you want to believe, guys, but suicide is not something to be laughed at. It's something to be taken seriously. And if you're really considering it, please remember, I'm not going to get here and talk about emotions because I don't know what you're going through. There are people who do care about you. There are people who want to help you. There is a God above you. Whether you believe it or not, that's up to you. Make it what you will. God, Allah, Buddha, the Force, whatever. But do something positive for this world with the time you have. Because even though I don't know if I've done what God has asked me to do, I hope these words, these last few words of this video, help you in some way. Later.